Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, Twitter is racist. Twitter got some stuff going on, and I really don't know what's been happening with Twitter, but man, Twitter used to be such a dope platform to go to. You could go to Twitter and actually get lost with just the amount of content that exists on Twitter, the amount of fun that you can have on Twitter. It wasn't too long ago where I was talking about that too, how I was saying that, Twitter used to be such a fun place, and for some odd reason it's like, no, we don't want to be fun no more. We don't want people to have fun. It's like it's something that it confuses me. I'm seeing like this audio input thing, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm not hearing anything. So hold on for a second. I don't know what's going on. Like Streamlabs has some like audio input thing. I'm gonna just get rid of that because that's distracting me. But anyways, back to the episode. So no, but yeah, Twitter is mad racist now. Like the times when I go on to Twitter. So like, let's say there is a video of a black person doing something, right? Like just doing something. Doesn't matter what they're doing. It could be positive. It could be negative. They're overall doing something. The one thing that I do not understand is that there are races. It's either this. Twitter is full of racist people or they're just full of rage baiters. One of the two. Like it's something, all right? And that's something that I'm starting to discover and look more into. But at the same time, I'm like, fam, the thing is this, if you're making a comment underneath the video that involves a person of color and you're like, oh, I'm just rage baiting, I'm just trolling this and that has to come from somewhere. Like, that's one thing that I've learned about the internet and about people is that they can make it seem like that they're not racist, but it's like, okay, all the different things that you could say, why do you feel the need to say something racist? I don't understand that form of trolling. I'm like, fam, I've been around for a while. I've seen numerous forms of trolling. Racism is racism. Like you can't argue that. You can't say like, oh well, I didn't mean it. No, but you did though. Like, that's the thing that you're not understanding. You did mean that. My thing is this. You sit down and you take the time, you go through all this trouble to find something racist to say. So yeah, back to this scenario, right? Let's say it's a black person. All right, so you know what? No, I got a scenario. So let's say a white person approaches a black person and I don't know, they step on their sneakers or something, right? Like, I'm trying to think of something on the spot and I struggle with that. But anyways, they step on their sneakers, smudge it up. Black person gets upset, swings on the white guy, knocks him clean out cold. Anybody that will watch that video would say, yeah, that white guy had it coming, especially if he did it on purpose. He didn't apologize, none of that stuff. You can't do that. Like, you got some angry black men that just be walking around and they're looking for a reason. They are looking for a reason to do something, all right? But yeah, let's say it was on purpose, right? You know, if it was on accident, then yeah, I think any and everybody would see like, okay, like it was clear as day it was on accident. Like, bro didn't mean it, all right? But yeah, no, let's say he did that on purpose. He was all like, oh, they were just so shiny, I just wanted to step on them and smudge them up. I don't like clean shoes. Says something like that, right? Black guy just gives him like a mean uppercut, like one of them like Superman uppercuts, sends bro flying, like one of those like Debo from Friday uppercuts, right? People will be underneath that tweet talking about, oh, that's just the blacks being blacks. Why are you saying that? That's not, no, my thing is this. That's not trolling. I don't care what anybody says. That's not trolling. That's not rage baiting. That's just racism, bro. Like, that is just flat out racism. Rage baiting to me is something when it's like it has something to do like with sports, where it's like that you can like say that you don't mean, like if you say, oh, I hate this team so much. Yeah, in my opinion, that would be rage baiting. But when you're saying something that has to do with the race, it has to do with a group of people. It don't matter like who that group of people are, whether it's black people or just any group of people of color, the LGBTQ community. It don't matter like what it is. That's the one thing that trips me out, is that people will not even find. They will look for videos like that. They will look for any sort of social media post or just overall just situation where they can get themselves involved. They feel like they need to add their 2 cents, and I'm like, bro, your 2 cents is not needed. Like if you're thinking that you're adding any sort of like, I guess like valuable information, you're not. Like your tweet, the thing is this, you could have not tweeted that, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. Video still would have got millions of views. People would have been talking any and every day about it and stuff. But why do people feel the need to make a post like that? Like my thing is this. That's why I more so want to attempt to do in this episode is try to just figure it out myself. Why do people feel like they need to leave racist comments like that underneath a video or a tweet? Because like I said, it doesn't matter what the situation is. People will figure out some way, somehow to add their opinion to it. Why? That's the one thing that I never understood about the internet, is that there are cases and situations where your opinion is not needed and you feel the need to add your opinion. And I'm like, bro, that's one thing about just throughout the 15 years I've been into content creating, is that there's just certain conversations that I don't need to be involved in. It's like, yeah, I might add my opinion on some matters and stuff, but I'm not, I guess, looking for people to agree with my opinion. I'll state my opinion and I'll leave it at that. So like, let's say for an example, I watched that same video and people are like, TMossBoss, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about this random white guy stepping on this black guy's sneakers? I'm like, hey, look, if he did it on accident, it's on accident. But it's clear as day, you can see that he did that mess on purpose. So, however that black man reacts, that's that man's reaction. You can't tell that man how to react. You don't know who he is, where he came from in the world. You don't know nothing about that man. Now, I'm not saying that, go find some weak, defenseless person and go do it to them. No, I'm just saying don't do that type of stuff, because you don't know about that person's life. You don't know where they came from. You don't know what they're capable of. So you just going around doing stuff like that. Why? For what reason? And so that's the one video that I seen today where people were trying to like push a narrative out there, and I'm like, there's no narrative to push out. Like, I guess, all right, so because I feel like that there, to a certain degree, there is a narrative to put out, but at the same time, it's like people are trying to make it seem like that one situation was worse than the other, when I'm like, in fact, like, no, the video that went trending today was much more worse, because I'm like, so anyways, but no, let's just just get strong into this, because I'm gonna get distracted and stuff. So back some years ago, there was this situation where this black kid was walking down the street. I think he had like a BB gun or something, but I think it resembled a real gun. I don't know. I never did see what the gun had looked like. I don't think it was like no, it wasn't a real gun. No, I remember them saying that he had a BB gun on him and stuff. So anyways, but yeah, cops pull up without warning, shoot and kill him. Didn't give that kid a chance, didn't give that kid nothing. They just seen a black kid walking down the street with a gun, shot and killed him. Now, I didn't see it in so many different videos and situations where I'm like, bruh, like, people get a fighting chance. Not that kid. And that's one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, that cop didn't know what he was doing. Maybe that cop might not be racist, but he definitely don't know how to do his job. Because my thing is this. It's like, don't position yourself. Because, no, like, so from what I do remember in that video, he positioned himself, like, right next to the kid, pretty much. Immediately got out the car, shot and killed the kid. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I'm a cop and I see the suspect, yeah, let's say it is an individual with a gun and stuff, I'm not going to pull up right beside the kid. Maybe that cop might be racist. I do not know. All right. If there's like some things that came out about that cop being a racist, then okay, cops are racist. If not, I can't make that judgment because I don't know. So overall, I'm like, that is one thing that it's like, am going to attempt to be neutral in a matter, but at the same time, I'm like, I am going to point out the wrongs though. I'm like, they're rights with that video. And that's the thing, people will, like, let's say if that situation were to happen today, there would be people commenting underneath that video talking about that kid deserved it, he shouldn't have been walking down the street with no gun anyways. But let it be a white kid, all right, let it be a white kid, they were like, oh well, they're just misguided, they're just, and the thing is this, like, I'm not trying to sound like that person. I know people will probably be all like, oh, you're sounding like one of them like militant black people and all this other stuff. I'm like, I'm not trying to sound like that, but I'm just saying that there are racist people that will look at a race and be like, yes, they deserve any and everything that it's coming to them, and it'll be over some petty stuff. Let it be one of their own. They want to look at the situation different. They want to say, oh, they were just, because when you look at that one guy, that Kyle Rittenhouse, whatever his last name is, but anyways, I should call him Kyle Rittenhouse because he is overall a rotten person. But and people will probably say that I'm rage baiting. I guess I'm rage baiting the Kyle was it? Yeah, Rittenhouse, I think. But no, I called him. I ain't gonna say it because I'm I gotta. Well, I'm not really setting the example, but overall, yes, I did call him a garden tool. I ain't gonna say the name because the kids could be listening and stuff. But yeah, let's just say I called him a garden tool. I think we overall know what garden tool I'm referencing to. But yeah, I seen he had a Twitter account. I'm like, why does he have a Twitter account? But anyways, no. So overall though, people seen that video. There was racist people that seen that video of that kid that was walking down the street with the BB gun. Cops kill him. They say that the cops did the right thing, right? Kyle Rittenhouse, whatever his last name is, but he goes to these rights. Like he drove it wasn't even no situation where he drove across town. I think he drove from a completely different state, shot 2 people, killed one of them. I can't remember what he did. I don't know if he killed the other person or if he shot off a limb, but I think it was like the damage was like so bad either to their leg or arm or something that I think it had to be removed from what I heard. I don't know. But people are trying to look at him as a hero. How is he? My thing is this, right? A hero is somebody that goes out and they stop all the riots, the looting, all that stuff. That's what a hero does without having to kill people in the process. My thing is this. I'm like, because I ain't trying to be funny and I ain't trying to crack no jokes, but I'm like, when you watch a superhero movie, you ain't got it where them guys is going around like, yeah, if it's like Captain America sees a bank robber, or I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess in some cases, yeah, if you get one of them like vibranium shields thrown at you, I think, and realistically, yeah, somebody gonna die behind some stuff like that. But they don't really be portraying that in them superhero movies and stuff. They just be, I guess, if it's the villain and things. But but yeah, Thanos, he wasn't even a real person. So I'm like, I guess maybe using superhero movies is a bad example and stuff. But overall, though, but yeah, that's what I look at when I see a hero. I see somebody that you can use your words. You can stop people with your words rather than, oh, let me bring an assault rifle or whatever type of rifle and bring a gun. And just start shooting people. Ain't had no reason to be out there in the first place. But people looked at him as a hero. People was like all outside this courthouse cheering for this man, all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, he didn't need to be out there. And I know people would probably say that, oh, that kid didn't need to be on that sidewalk. He didn't. He really didn't. But he didn't deserve to die that day. I'm not saying that Kyle kid, guy, whatever, he deserved to die. But I'm just saying, nobody deserves to die. So that's why I'm like, fam, then with the video that I did see today, it was these 2 kids. And it was like a 4-minute video altogether because it was like two videos, but both of them were like 2 minutes and stuff. But yeah, altogether 4. But anyways, but these kids were having like multiple verbal like warnings to drop because I don't think both of them had a gun. I think they were just going back and forth, like handing this gun back and forth to each other. And I think the gun was loaded. But overall, though, my thing is this. It's like, how come that kid from like some years ago, how come he didn't get the same treatment as these 2 kids today? Like, that's all that I'm trying to say. It's like, I'm not saying that, them kids today that went viral, they deserve to die. But I'm just saying, how come that kid from years ago, how come he didn't get that same treatment? How come George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and all these people that wrongfully got killed, how come they didn't get even them, the one guy that got killed during them riots by that Kyle guy. It's like, how come they didn't get the same treatment? And I'm just saying, it's like, it's stuff like that where it's like people want to crack jokes like that's one thing where I'm like, man, the internet at times, it is such a dark place. Like, that's one thing that I'll never forget. And that's why I'm like, even just outside of Twitter, like the internet is just overall a dark place. Like people say and do things and I'm like, there's no reason to do that. But I just remember people were cracking jokes about that Trayvon Martin, like making memes of him and stuff. And I even see the same situation with George Floyd too. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, if you look up any anybody's name that is a person of color that was wrongfully like killed either by cops or by just random people and things, there you'll see some like quote unquote rage baiting posts where a person is like, oh, they deserved it, they had what's coming to them, blacks don't know how to, just go and just be normal people and stuff. And I'm like, why are you wording it like that? It's like, why do you have to say it like that? Why are you even saying anything at all? So like, that's why I'm like, man, at times, I'm gonna just say this much about the internet and just overall, like, like Twitter, but just overall the internet. We have some like unintellectual people that exist where they think that they're speaking facts, but they're not. They're just speaking whatever is on their mind. And they want to say that it's facts. They want to. They want to believe with their heart, their soul, their brain, their body, their everything, that what they are saying is the truth. It is not. You are your own person. Just like me right now, I am my own person. I'm on my platform saying whatever I feel like saying. And at the end of the day, people can hear what I'm saying. People don't need to hear what I'm saying. I'm not forcing nobody's hand to listen to me and all that stuff. But that's the thing, though. That's the difference between myself and an individual that's going on Twitter trying to rage bait and all this other stuff. I don't care if people don't hear me when it comes to whatever it is that I'm saying. You guys, on the other hand, purposely go out your way trying to like, oh, let me say this, let me say that. And then you try to hide behind some, oh, I'm just trolling, I'm just doing some rage baiting stuff. I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. And it's like, but even that too, that's not needed. So at the end of the day, and this is, I feel like a hard hitting question, why are you even on the internet? Like, that's something that, I would like to understand. Like, what is your purpose on the internet? You bring no value. So, like, at the end of the day, why do you feel the need to make a post that does even concern you? Like, your 2 cents, trust me, it is not needed, bro. Not even just the 1 cent. None of it absolutely anything from you is not needed. So that's why I'm asking people like that, where you can't think logically. You can't overall just say some like intellectual stuff. You can't say things that are smart. You can't say, you feel like every post that you had to make, it has to be something stupid. It has to be something where it's like, yeah, people are going to look at this and they're going to feel a certain way. Why do you feel the need to make those types of posts? So that's why I'm like, man, at the end of the day, and I feel like it's one of those sayings that it's like, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't said enough to people like this. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything nice at all. Just honestly, leave it alone. Doesn't concern you. And I know everybody's going to be like, freedom of speech, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Ain't hearing absolutely none of that. It's you know what you're overall doing. If it's like, my thing is this, if you hear this episode and you want to find any and everything's underneath the moon to argue with in this episode, I'm not hearing it. You're not hearing the other people when they're getting on you talking about some old when you're talking about some old disrespectful stuff. So why should I hear you out? Like that's the type of stuff where it's like, it's so funny because you'll call people out on that type of stuff, right? And then when they hear podcast episodes or videos of, people like myself or just overall anybody, but it's like they're talking against them. They're saying like, hey, what you're saying? It's not right. And then they want to get mad and offended by it. Like, oh, you didn't like my joke, so therefore I have to get upset with you. I have to, say things to fam, I don't care if you feel upset. I really don't. Like, that's one thing about me and about content creating is that I've dealt with so many people like this, where it's like they want I have to say that's probably everybody that I've ever dealt with throughout my content creating career, is that they want to be heard so badly. And that's one thing where I'm like, fam, don't nobody care. Like, any and everybody out there, and even just with me, I'm like, bro, my thing is this. I make these podcast episodes. I make these videos. I have 50 channels. I make these social media posts, TikToks, Instagrams. What else? Yeah, I'm doing all these different things left and right throughout content creating. I don't know at the end of the day if my words are sticking with people. But here's the thing, though. That's the thing that I can say the difference between me and somebody, some troller, I guess, on Twitter, is that I'm not purposely saying things to upset people. I don't even mean to accidentally say things to upset people. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, my thing is this. I'm a creative person to where I don't need to say things that's going to rage bait, but I feel like I've seen it so many different times, like outside of rage bait, and you just see overall like baiting comments. I don't know how many times, like, just even to just talk on bait and comments and stuff. Bro, it's like having it where it's like, let like a video, or not even a video, but let like I don't know, like, let's say it's a woman with a lot of different followers on social media, right? And yeah, I don't know, like, she's like a Kardashian level, like, social media influencer and stuff. But anyways, and we're still using Twitter as the platform. So she'll make a post. She makes this post and she was like, oh, celebrating my birthday or something like that, right? You would see like OnlyFans models, for an example, be underneath the post talking about, oh, click this link to see me in my birthday suit. Don't nobody care about your birthday suit. Like, don't nobody care about your OnlyFans. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, I just know for a fact that I'm gonna probably upset a lot of different people, but at the same time, it's like stuff like that is not needed. That's why I'm like, nah, bro, people, because no, I have it where at times people will try to promote their music underneath my, like, social media posts. Like, I just had it where somebody did it not too long ago on Instagram, trying to, I think, what video was it? They were trying to use some video that I posted at the time where they was all like, oh, check out my music. Nobody's clicking, they're not going to my profile to check out your music. Yeah, and my thing is this, and I'm like, I'm not trying to crush nobody's dreams, but if you're having to do that, the music's most likely not even good. And I'm not going to have it where people are clicking on your music through my videos, and then this music's not good. Then they're looking at me like, bro, why are you allowing comments like this underneath your videos? And then it's like people are all like, oh, I gotta be the nice, respectful content creator and let, people shine and all that stuff. You're not gonna do it on my platform. So my thing is this, I'm like, you're having to do things like that, fam. Maybe the social media stuff isn't for you. Whether you're a baiter, a rage baiter, a troller, what else? A racist. Yeah, it ain't needed for you. Go somewhere else. Go there, like, actually, you know what? No, they have like this, there's a social media platform where I guess it's just you by yourself. They call it a single player social media platform or something like that. And I'm like, that's what you need. You need to be on a social media platform by yourself. Or even it's like maybe keeping your stuff private, and just like, yeah, just have a private account and you just tweet out whatever it is you want to tweet out, post whatever it is that you want to post, but let it to where the world doesn't need to see it because we do not care about it. The funny thing is that the world operates the same way every single day. People going into work, they spend however many hours working, right? And then, they have that little moment where they're at lunch, and then they might be scrolling through their phone through social media. They're not looking for the types of posts that you're making. They're just trying to see a video of a cat chasing a dog around the house, or seeing what new challenge Mr. Beast is going to, I guess have people do. Or maybe, yeah, see some random black guy with glasses reacting to a body cam video, and his name just so happens to be TMossBoss. That's what them individuals are looking for. Do you think they're trying to look for your racist tweets? No, they're not, because they don't care about your racist tweets. And I know people like to say that saying, because I've had it where they've said it to me too, where it's like, oh, well, if they're taking the time to respond to me, then honestly they care. No, they don't. The funny thing is, let's say you didn't make that post, that person would live life normally. The thing is this, they're spending a few moments in during their 24 hours to respond to you, but that's one thing that they don't need to do. And I'm telling you right now, if they hadn't seen your post, bro, it ain't like they're like, oh man, I wish I would have seen a post today that made me. Nobody's not saying stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, man, it's like, people, look, if you ain't got nothing nice, like I said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say on social media, keep your stuff private or just don't say nothing. Point blank simple. So, anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Again, thank you to everybody that's been staying with my podcast for the past 200 seasons. I do appreciate that. Shout out to yourselves once again, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.